when she says, what are they gonna do, fire me right now? That's definitely a shot at management. I think, you know, you can run out of goodwill, and perhaps they have, because of very good reasons. And they've run out of goodwill, but should it be impossible for them to come back into the public's good grace? Let's watch the Victoria reasons for graduating. I actually watched the stream very late at night, but I was doing something else at the same time, so I didn't catch on to everything.
Hi. I gotta face the music. I guess first and foremost, I guess I wanted to apologize. Sorry, I wanted to come up with this angry so I wouldn't get emotional, but I'm sorry. I feel like I kind of failed you guys and I've let you guys down. I wrote some stuff, so maybe I'll just read off of my not so good writing. I know whether you kind of choose to believe it or not.
Yeah, it was really sad. She cried a lot and stuff. Feels like she let down her fan base.
This really wasn't an easy decision to make. There were stuff that I wanted to do still. I feel like I let you guys down, and I think it's understandable that you guys are mad at me or feel betrayed. I haven't really been the best version of myself. I feel like I've grown so ugly and grotesque and bitter on my streams. For the ones that have watched my streams and dropped by, it's probably not a surprise to you guys that I'm pretty unhappy here, because I take a pot shot at like almost at every opportunity. And I feel like I've just become this—
What's a pock shot? Do you think there'll be another wave of Niji talent? They've definitely slowed down the release, but I think there will be in the future, yeah. A pot shot is what? A small jab? Taking a dig at someone? But how does that work in this sentence? She says she's taking a pot shot at every opportunity. That doesn't make sense. A pot shot is when you have an opening or an opportunity to hit back. Oh, okay, so she's taking a chance at every opportunity. Make sure you look at the comment section. Those comments are heartbreaking while seeing her like this. We'll take a look after. Have you talked about the whole YouTube magenta thingy? I don't know what you're referring to. Magenta? What do you mean? If I'm taking pot shots, I'm not really trying. There's a lot of different definitions of pot shots right now. I don't know.
Such a negative person on my own streams to the people that have always watched and supported me, and you guys don't deserve that. I don't know what you guys came here for, but certainly not that. I always wanted my streams to kind of be a place where, you know, it's supposed to be like a fun place for people to laugh and hang out. You know, I can see you guys have been such a wonderful community, and I just feel like I'm not worth to be part of that anymore. I don't know. There's so many things that has happened with my time here, and it's made me feel so— made me feel really small. It made me feel really bad. I don't understand. It's made me question myself. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like I'm defeated, man. I don't know. I tried my best. I wish I could endure. There were things that I was trying to look forward to and try to do, but when those bad things keep happening and they keep adding up,
yeah,
I guess I'm tired. I don't have that fight in me anymore, and I don't think that you guys deserve to, I guess, like actively see me deteriorating.
As far as I've ever heard it used, potshot is a shot taking bat at something while in cover, like a Wild West shootout behind the iron cooking pot would be a safe piece of cover to shoot from behind at people attacking the saloon. Thank you for this image. I can totally picture in my head now. Well, the thing is also, and I think she didn't really mention that, but I feel like it must play its part too, is it's kind of like in Idol. Do you guys remember when two of the girls from the same gen left and then they were only left with one girl? It's like, why would you stay once because you usually collab with the people in your gen, and once they're gone and the main reason why you're in the corpo is for the collabs, then it's like, well, shit, my friend's gone. And they kind of just, like the Idol girl said that it felt very lonely without the other two once they left. So I'm hoping, I assume there's going to be some kind of restructure in the gens, And maybe they'll move Claw Mark to another gen to pair him with other people. Kind of like they revamped the gen that Iris was in Hololive.
In 4K. I don't know. I guess I feel like it sucks because whatever. What's the worst that they could do? Fire me right now? Just today, a Paladin plushie has.
See, like, so later in the. I don't know if this is in the clip or if they cut it before, but later in her stream, she says something like, oh, like I'd give you the reasons for graduation, but the people that would want to know the reasons, they don't really care about me or my content. And it's vague who she's referring to there. I think there's two possibilities. It's either management or it's the people, you know, flaming Niji, going into people's chat, harassing them, or writing mean things under their comment section. I've already told you guys that if I find you guys doing something like that, you're going to be banned on site. And the other thing is here, when she says, what are they going to do? Fire me right now? That's definitely a shot at management.
And lots of VV fan merch goodies has made its way to my hands. I'm actually holding on to the Paladin plushie for emotional support right now, but I don't know. There are a lot of people that wrote really kind things.
Oh, sorry. Armal has like 835,000 subs and both of her genmates graduated and she's still alone. Is that on the Japanese side? On the low end, 3 different members of Niji ID are alone in their gens and there's been no restructuring. Shit. I feel like they should restructure some of the gens, make new groups. It'd be better. It would revamp things again, make it more lively, like breathe new fresh air into it, start as a new project.
And support about me, and I just feel like I just failed you guys, you know, like I don't deserve that. You guys don't deserve to see me like this. And I've been trying, but I feel like I don't know. I always want to be like the best version of myself for you guys who support me, and it just feels like I haven't been able to do that for a long time. It feels like I'm just dirtying up the wonderful community and place that I had once helped build. And I can see that you guys are so kind and welcoming to one another, and I just feel like I shouldn't be here. I feel broken. Some of you guys are probably wondering about things for the future, but I really don't know. I don't know if I like streaming or content creation anymore. I feel like I don't know why I get treated this way. I feel, and I know like it doesn't have to be this way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I let you guys down. I'm sorry if I've disappointed you. There were many reasons that kind of led me to this, and I wanted to do a lot more things with you guys, and I don't know. But I don't like what I feel like I've become. I hate that I'm like this nervous wreck where I randomly get heart palpitations and everything just seems so stressful and anxious all the time, and I'm so negative. I'm sorry for being so bitter. I'm sorry I let you guys down. I just think I see so many nice notes and things that you guys wrote for me, and then I just think I don't deserve all the kind words that people have given me, and so I guess I hope that you'll understand. I always wanted to keep it a fun place, and it just feels like I haven't been able to do that. I feel like whatever you guys signed up for, she's not there anymore. I think you guys deserve better than that, because you guys have made so many of my dreams come true. I hate that you guys are the ones that have to be hurt by this decision, but what caused me to have made these decisions are people that will probably never care and probably don't know anything about me. But we're all kind of taking that brunt, aren't we? I don't know. I just don't think it's fair for anyone.
It's a diss, you might say, and how bad Niji in current state. More graduation is coming, and there will be merge from EN to JP. Let me think about what I want to say here. I know how bad it is for people that are locked into contract in corpos where management decision is deeply affecting them. And it's a really tough burden to bear, because I talk to people behind the scenes and stuff that are in corporate agencies, and not always great ones. So that's one thing. But then there's also a lot of pressure and negativity coming from audiences too that probably plays a role in this. And like I said before, you don't need to identify yourself by the crazies in your fan base. Just like I think the outliers of the Nijisanji fan base have contributed to perpetuating kind of like an online war. And it's been reflecting badly on the rest of the fan base. And perhaps I need to do more disclaimers when I talk about them, that they don't represent the rest of the fan base, because we do have Nijisanji fans in the audience. I watch some Nijisanji livers too. I genuinely enjoy them. I love Lun Lun, for example. I watch her frequently. I don't understand a lick of what's going on, but I think she's amazing. So just like there's also crazies in the Hololive fan base too. And I also don't think the trend of cheering when somebody's graduating is a good thing. Like, I think if somebody's graduating and that's what they wanted and they feel really, I want people to be able to work wherever they want to work. Whatever they think is best for their career, I'll support them there. And I think I've said this before, and I know a lot of people disagreed with me back then, but I'll repeat it again. I understand that a lot of people want to boycott the company, but again, if you are boycotting the company, then you must understand that by doing so, a lot of the livers that are there, they're going to feel like they're stuck, because they're going to feel like if they do want to leave, they're not going to have opportunities elsewhere. So it is a line. Well, I'm not talking about branch merge. Merge won't help. I demerged with EN. They just lost all support. Nothing got better. EN merged with GP just means there will be zero EN specific support. The merge is an excuse to cut staff. I'm not talking about that kind of merge though. I'm talking about just a gen restructure. So the people that are left alone in gens can have collab partners. Oh yeah, somebody asked me to check the comments in the video. Do I need you to get closer to her Oshis? Oshi 1 Selen executed cartel style. Oshi 2 Pomu graduated. All this in less than 5 months after debut. Only collab with them once. Got shafted by management in Sejam Slam SF6. No, wasn't she allowed to participate in the slam? Yeah, I'm talking about a merge like how Iris and Council formed Promise. Exactly. Yeah, Gabriel, exactly. It's important to support their reincarnated life after they leave. Mint also wasn't sure if she would continue streaming. She wasn't sure if anyone would be interested in seeing her return, but as you can see, she's been having a good time ever since she came back. Maybe Victoria can take a break when she's graduated, make a return to see if the flame still burns. They restricted her from interacting with Doki. Yeah, but imagine the mountain of controversy it would have caused, and the speculation it would have caused if she did interact with Doki. Like, yeah, I get it that it feels petty on Nijisanji's part, and it might be. It very well might be. But there's also the other part, the PR part, where it's like, well, it's probably better they don't interact, actually, if you actually think about it. It's probably better that way. Keep them separate, no matter what they said. Even if they had the most cordial exchange, do you think no one would have been upset by that? Of course they would. There would be somebody somewhere, a portion of whichever fan base that would be upset by that. It would be rife with speculations, and I think right now the biggest thing Nijisanji needs to do is just not get into any controversy. Like, none. What can Nijisanji do to get back into the public's good grace? Because Nijisanji could do the same thing as Hololive right now, but they would get scrutinized like crazy and they'd get roasted. So what are the steps you guys think Nijisanji needs to? Because I've said that before, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. They think when somebody does something wrong, they never get to be forgotten. But I'm not of that mentality. I think, you can run out of goodwill, and perhaps they have, because of very good reasons. And they've run out of goodwill, but should it be impossible for them to come back into the public's good grace? No, I don't think it should be impossible. I think it should be difficult, but not impossible. It's not impossible, but being scrutinized during its expectation should be welcome. Well, perhaps not welcome, but it should be expected. Riku stepping down would probably have to happen, but would that really change so much? It's kind of like the same arguments we had for Twitch stuff. Is Dan Clancy stepping down? Yes, he's the face of it. Does it really change everything that's behind him? Probably not. He's just one clog in the machine. That clog can be easily replaced. He's the owner, yes, but he's not making all the decisions by himself. They got a board. They're a publicly traded company. They would need to not get into any controversy for like at least 6 months. So what happened recently? There was the Yab thing, which I guess they were more of a victim there, but it was still pretty controversial. And I feel like there was something else that I'm not remembering right now. That wasn't Niji's fault, but the livers got a lot of harassment for it. The drink stuff, yeah, the mixing drink stuff. Like every single liver that had ever collabed with one of this Yap producer, if you looked at the Japanese comments in the YouTube videos, they were filled with people harassing them, like Japanese people harassing them because of it. So maybe they just need to have more restrictions, kind of like Hololive does. The concert was also a massive fail. So I think just restructuring, going back to smaller scale events, but higher quality. They've been doing more 3D stuff, which I like. I like that. I like that they've been doing more 3D stuff. That was a change we really needed. A large step would be better cuts for their talents and putting in rules to protect their talent from poor management, malicious actors. Just so you know, the management, not everybody in management is a bad manager. Saying, oh, fire all the management it's not a realistic solution, guys. Come on. As for the higher cuts and stuff, even if they do give them higher cuts, they wouldn't tell us. Imagine what would happen if they told us. People would also roast them. Oh, so it was true you give them 1%. It was true you were mistreating them, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not how you navigate through a controversy. You just keep your head down and you shut up. It is not public. The contract leaked by Legal Mindset is a template. And we also don't know if it was the official one. And also, when you do receive a contract, there's a negotiation period. And after that, some clauses might change. So don't see that contract as the Bible. It's maybe a starting point. Maybe it was a contract at one point. We don't know which year. We don't know which month. We don't know if things have changed for now. We don't know if it's worse, if it's better. So there's a couple things that were confirmed later on by ex-Niji livers. There's like a couple things in there, like, you know, Matara saying that she gave back her phone, so they owe her $500. Well, we know that clause in the contract was real, for example, things like that. So it's a good base to base ourselves on, but it's not everything written in there might be the contract that they signed. One of the things stopping Niji from ever redeeming themselves is they've committed to focusing on a toxic, fanatical fan base that will rip them to shreds for trying to reform publicly. I don't think the people you see on Twitter is a good representation of the entire fan base. I think I've mentioned that earlier. There's only a small portion of people that are actually really active on Twitter, and most of their fan base is probably on YouTube, just like most of content creators' fan base. Many of them are probably active on Twitter. That's a wild claim. But you guys really think that? You really think that most of the Nijisanji fan base that constitutes millions of fans, millions, are active on Twitter? All of the Nijisanji, including JP. You think they're all active on Twitter? That's an insane claim. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Charlie. Yeah, Charlie also watches Nijisanji and he's not toxic. I think it's a very small portion, like it's a loud minority of the fan base. It appears much larger because they're extremely loud. In the eyes of Niji, they represent the fan base. I think in the eyes of Niji, who represent the fan base is the people that are supporting them. But they are kind of going, sometimes in their statements, they kind of go like full vindictive, kind of like Rusia does sometimes. Topic on Niji good grace, not in order. Retrain fire management. Riku-sen steps down as CEO, reinvest current talents. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Hard to say. It's multiple possibilities. So yeah. Why do you think it's a lose-lose situation? I think we've already We already talked about it last week where I pulled up some stats saying that only 20% of Americans are active on Twitter. So Twitter is never like a realistic, it's never a good representation of what people think. Yes, exactly. Many ex-Niji fans just want to be able to enjoy the content and see that the livers are being treated well and fairly and with respect. I think if they make their towns feel secure and happy with the company would be a big step. But Twitter is not real life. It's not so much a matter of how many, it's how much the company seems to go out of their way to focus on them. Like what? The public apology tours give that vocal minority way more spotlight than necessary. Like what? What do you mean public apology tours? What tours? I never had a Twitter. I love the Niji talents, but then again, I'm one person. Well, many one person make one public. Oh yeah, the McDonald nonsense. Forgot about the McDonald stuff. Like daring to eat McDonald, why do Niji pay so much attention to them? You mean the livers, right? Like why do the livers respond to them? Some people have less tolerance to backlash than others. Or their values kinda align. Making Scarly and Uki invent a crowd, do public apologies, aim at Twitter activists, creates a false impression that said vocal minority is way more important than it is. You know, I wasn't thinking about the McDonald's stuff and the activist. I was more thinking about the tribalist fans. But that's a pretty good point. But Starbucks, McDonald's, yeah, all of this. I guess we can group them all together. The size of the audience becomes irrelevant when a portion of the audience is given more attention than the rest. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I still think there's some good people working there as management, as talent. There's some, there was a liver featured in Parrot's video that seemed really cool. I don't like the labeling game in general because it can go both ways. People do that to me too, and I also dislike it. So I like to segment things a little more. All in all, I think it's just going to be a slow process into getting back into public's good grace. I think they just need more cool, quality projects that pop off. Maybe don't aim for like really big venues because that didn't seem to work. Instead of, it's like they're adopting the opposite stance as Hololive, where like Hololive just doesn't let them make the mistakes in the first place. Meanwhile, Nijisanji lets them make the mistake, but then tells them to apologize. Well, we don't know if all of the apologies have been mandated by management. That's a speculation. Some of them, we have strong reasons to believe it was. Some of them, not necessarily. It can be from the liver's own volition. You know, sometimes when everybody's screaming at you, you're just like, okay, fine, I apologize, whatever, just stop, you know? Not everything is worth fighting for. There's definitely things that are worth more than others, and you gotta pick your battles as a content creator. I'll say this though, being a content creator brings in challenges and situations that you never ever thought you would get into. Like fame at whatever scale brings in unique situations where the human heart is really put at stress. So I don't necessarily blame some people for just wanting to calm audiences when they're freaking out. I can criticize somebody for it, but I don't think I would blame them because I understand where they're coming from.